Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so thank you. This is Suleiman Kiam from IHE Catalyst. So I'm working as a project manager and the Gazelle technical manager. So today I'm going to talk about the registration in Gazelle for the upcoming LagPass Connectathon. Let me move my slide. Oh, okay. Okay, so in the agenda, I will talk about first the concept of the projectathon by explaining the fundamental idea behind the projectathon. And also, I will talk about the main phases of the event. So I will discuss the key phases at the projectathon, and that include the registration, the preparatory test, the connectivity test, and the event in Sao Paulo itself. So in the third part, I will talk about the LagPass Connectathon calendar. So we will highlight any important dates, deadline, milestones that participants should be aware of. So after that, I will switch in Gazelle and show you how to perform the registration in the Gazelle tool. And also, I will show you the new GUI of Gazelle Test Management, because if you participate to the last LagPass Connectathon and the G20 Pilot Connectathon, you will see that the interface of the Gazelle Test Management is changed, is new. So we will share with you the new updates. So at the end of the presentation, I will share you some helpful links and the contact person if you need any information. If you have some question regarding the registration, we'll share you the emails of the person to contact. And at the end of the presentation, if you have some question, of course, I will answer to your request. So the projectathon is a testing event centered on the IHE and Gazelle profiles and specification as well. So we are going to test the interoperability of between the systems, and the tests we are executing to validate the interoperability between systems will be divided in three parts. The first part of the test is the projectathon tests. So in this stage, we will provide you some simulators and some validators to prepare yourself before the event. So globally, there's some tests you will execute only between your system and the Gazelle simulator. And after that, the second test type is the peer-to-peer test. That's some tests between participants you will execute during the event on site. So this is very different because you have two real systems that are exchanging some message to validate the interoperability between them. So of course, you will use also some validators, some support tools like the proxy that will help to catch the message between the two participants and then validate the message through another validator, another tool. So the last type of test is a group of tests. A group of tests is more complex because it needs to connect multiple participant systems to test a full workflow during the event. So for example, you can have 3 systems, 4 systems, 5 systems that are connected together. So these type of tests are very, very complex. The only projectathon at this time that are using the group of tests is Switzerland. So the other countries are waiting because they are waiting to be more mature on the peer-to-peer tests before switching to the group of tests. But for LagPass, maybe for the upcoming event, we'll try this type of tests, or if it's not possible, maybe next year. But it's very, very important, and it's very, very complex also to validate the interoperability between several systems that are connected together. So The event will help also to test the compliance to IHE and Gazelle or LACPA specification to find defect in systems or in the specification. Also, the main benefits are fast debugging. So during the event itself, you are allowed to fix some issues, to recompile, and then to retest as many times as needed during the event, or also during the preparatory, because during the preparatory, you have some preparatory tests to execute in Gazelle. So also, the event is also a cooperation between participants, between jurisdiction, between health ministry. So it creates a social networking between all participants. So, but before, in my previous slide, I explained you the main benefit. I explained you also the three types of the testing. But before going into the testing, we request you first to perform your registration. Because for the registration, we'll be able to know in which country you are coming from, for which system are you testing, which profile are you testing, and based on those information, Gazelle will deliver you a test plan. So that's the second stage. The first test plan will focus on the preparatory stage. So, for example, if you register for MHD, for example, we will provide you some tests to execute during the preparatory stage. And for each test, you will have the name of the simulator to use, the name of the validator to use, and everything to prepare yourself. So you can prepare yourself on this stage, the second stage, then fix your bug you identify in your implementation, because you apply for IPS. So you implement the IPS profiles, and then you need to check if your implementation is correct or not by executing the test plan we provide you. And after that, you can fix some bug and then try your tests again. So for this stage, it's only no peer tests. You don't have any real partner to test with. That's the second stage. And then the third stage is the connectivity tests. The connectivity tests concern only the participants that are participating to the event remotely. It's generally some network testing. For example, if you want to participate to the LACPAS projectathon and then you are in the United States or you are in Panama, for example, you are not in Brazil, so we need to check in advance if your system connected from United States or from Panama can reach the system located in Sao Paulo. If you can exchange some IPS messages, if you can exchange some MHD document. So both systems need to connect together before. They need also to know if you send a ping message from a system A to the system B, if both systems will try to reach together. So this is only technical test. So network test or technical test will perform for the connectivity test. But for the event, if all participants will be in the same room, in the same place, we do not need to perform the connectivity test. So that's why the third stage is not mandatory. So now, once you perform your preparatory test, your connectivity, your pre-testing, your registration is done. So now we will provide you another test plan in Gazelle. And for this time, we will have the no-peer test to execute, the peer-to-peer test, and for each peer-to-peer test, Gazelle will tell you which country is your possible partner. For example, you are testing, you implement MHD, you are acting as a client. Gazelle will tell you, okay, I know another country, they are testing the same profile, the same transaction, and they are acting as a server. Just an example. That's the same for IPS, that's the same for DDCC and others profiles. So Gazelle will provide you your possible partner, and you will be able to execute your test with your partner. And once the test is executed, the monitors are from Raxel side. So they will review the evidence, check the results, and then grade the test by saying this test is okay or this test is failed. So this is what we are doing for the 3 days of the event. And after the event, 2 weeks after, we will send you the report of your testing. How many tests did you execute? On IPS, how many tests did you execute? On MHD, which test is failed, which test is okay, which test is partially verified. So you will have globally all of those information in your report. So globally, these are the main stage: registration, and after that, preparatory testing, connectivity testing if you are connected remotely to the event, and then the project pattern itself. And at the end, you will get your report. So in terms of calendar, this is how it looks like. The registration will take 1.5 months. It starts today in Gazelle, and then it will end at the end of September. So you have 1.5 months to perform your registration in Gazelle. So the registration doesn't take time. So sometimes it can take 30 minutes, 1 hour to perform your full registration. Or sometimes if you are not sure about which profile you want to implement or something like this, you can start and then check with your technical team and come back in Gazelle 1 week after to complete your registration. But normally everything should be fully completed in the registration before end of September. So after the registration, the preparatory stage, the preparatory testing will open in Gazelle from the 1st of October and will end to November 10. So after that, we have 2 weeks for the countries that are connected remotely. They have 2 weeks to perform their connectivity tests. So for each stage in Gazelle, you have your test plan, you have everything to do, you have the name of the tool, how to connect to the tool, and everything you need. And before we start each stage, the preparatory and the connectivity, we will have a webinar, a dedicated webinar for each stage that explain you how to perform the test, where to find the test, and everything you will need. So the registration, the event itself will start on Sunday, 12th of November, and it will take 3 days. So now the registration in Gazelle, what do we expect? So as I said, it takes 1.5 months. So in the registration, the first thing to do, it's not mandatory, I will tell you why, it is to make sure that your organization is available in Gazelle. If you already participate to the previous LACPAS Connectathon, or you already participate to the G20, to the previous G20 pilot Connectathon, you don't need to create your organization. You don't need to create your health ministry in Gazelle. It already exists in Gazelle. So this is only for the participant that are using, the participant or the country that are using Gazelle for the first time. They need to create their organization in Gazelle. So after that, once you create your organization, you need to add the users. The users can be, for example, the person who will execute the test during the event. It can be also a contact person, because sometimes you can register, for example, in Gazelle, one user and say this users can be contacted, for example, if you have some question, some technical question or something like this. But you need to register all the person who need to connect in Gazelle. They need a Gazelle account. So now the third stage is mandatory for all countries. Even if you already participate to the LACPAS Connectathon, you need to create your own system, because this is a new system you are using for the next event. So when you will create your system, I will show you afterwards how to do it. Once you create your system, you need to add the list of the profiles and actors you will register for. If you, for example, you create your system and you register for IPS profiles, you need to add IPS profile in your system. If you are testing or implementing MHD, you need to add MHD. That's the same for LACCHAN. That's exactly the same also for DDCC. So these are the main steps. The two first steps are not mandatory. It's mostly for the countries that are participating for the first time. And the stage 3 and 4 are mandatory for all the countries. So this is the link to reach the Gazelle test management tool. And when you connect to this tool, you need to make sure that the testing session is, you need to make sure that you are in the right testing session. LACPAS Project Athon 2023, Sao Paulo. This is the new one. So let me show you how it looks like. So this is the link. So I'm going to Gazelle and then I launch the link. So when you reach Gazelle for the when you launch the link, this is the home page. In the home page, the text is in Spanish. Unfortunately, we don't have the possibility to change the language in English. So it's only in Spanish and it explains the place, the date of the event, the period of the registration, and also it explains that if you are connected, connected for the first time in Gazelle, you need to create your account. So this is the link. No, sorry. If you connected for the first time, you need to register your account. So this is the link, register IHE. So you need to put your, let me switch in English. Your first name, your last name, your email address, your username, your password. You need to confirm your password. And also, if you come here, you need to select your organization. If your organization already exists in Gazelle, you can select your organization. For example, if I'm working for Suriname, for example, I can select Suriname. If your organization doesn't exist, that means your organization has never used Gazelle. So you need to create your organization. So for that, you need to select new company, create your new company. And from this page, you need to add the name of your organization. That's the name of your health ministry. Any trigram that represent your country. For example, France, we can say FR. Okay, so but anyway, you need to put your trigram or two letters or three letters. After that, you need to select the type of your organization. Generally, for the health ministry, we put public. And then you need to put, to fill your organization URL. It can be, for example, the website of your health ministry. When everything is done, you just need to click on save and then wait for Gazelle administration to approve your connection. So this is how to create your user if you do not have any account in Gazelle, and how to create your organization. So if you already have an account in Gazelle, you already participate, for example, to the previous LACPAS Connectathon or the previous G20 Connectathon, you need to click on this option. So for that, you just need to use your previous username, Gazelle username, and your previous password. So if you forget your password, the password you used last year, you can click on retrieve lost password, and then you will receive an automatically email from Gazelle. So from in the home page, also, if you go down, you can get access to the calendar of the events. And also, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, no, sorry, I need to disconnect. Okay. So also, if you would like to, if you are not in this group of Slack of Raxel, you can reach the group of Slack from here. LinkedIn, you can follow the Raxel LinkedIn from here. These are the tools that are available for the Connectathon. You have IPS Viewer, Terminological Server, Happyfire. This is for the knowledge option. And also, if you would like to review some videos from LACPAS, you can click on this option. If you need to know more about the LACPAS context, you have the full description here. So this is the first stage. check if your connection, your Gazelle, if you need to create a new account, or if you already have an account in Gazelle or everything. So now if you have your username, your password, and everything is okay, you can put it here from this page and then click on sign in. When you click on sign in, you'll reach this page. And from this page, you need to, if you would like, for example, to register more users in your organization, for example, you can click on, let me go back to the home page, invite team members. So you need to click on it. And when you click on it, you have the button add a user. And when you click on add a user, you need to select your organization name. You need to put the first name of the person from your health ministry you would like to invite, the last name of that person, the email address, and the username that they need to use to connect in Gazelle. So after that, you will have two options. I am an admin, that's why I can see all the list of the role to attribute. But for you, you will see only the vendor admin and the vendor role. So you can check if you need to select both, or if you just need to select one of them. The difference between both are explained in the document I will send you. You will see the difference in the document, so you can select one of them or both of them. So if you would like to add now your system, because this is the most important part of the registration, you need to go to the Manage SUT. When you go to the Manage SUT, you can click on Add a System. And when you click on Add a System, you need to put the name of your system. The system type, you can put others. The option is available here. The system keyword, you can say, for example, LACPAS Project Athon 2023, or you can put the name of your health ministry. It depends on your need. If you are using the same system you use during the previous LACPAS Connectathon, so you can use the same version of the system and then increase the version. For example, you can say, I use the version others, the system others care LACPAS system. And for this year, I'm using the version 2 of the same system. You can also leave it as blank for this option. Gazelle will accept. So once everything is done, let me just okay. Once everything is done, so you need to click on save. When you click on save, you have the option profiles and actors. And from profiles and actor option, if you that's on this page, you will add the list of the profiles and actors you will register for. So if you would like to add, for example, MHD profile or DDCC profiles, you need to click on the green button. And when you click on the green button, you have all the list of the profiles available for the upcoming event. CT is not mandatory, it's optional. But the most important profiles are DDCC, IPS, blockchain, and MHD. So for example, I would like to register for MHD, for example. So I'm going to select MHD. When you select MHD, you need to select if your system is acting as a document source, document responder, document recipient, document consumer, or all of them. You need to select which one is supported by your system, which actor. So let me select, for example, this one, and this one. So once everything is done, I can add also DDCC. DDCC, I am a creator, and I have also the verifier. Okay, so now I'm going to test IPS. For IPS, I'm acting as a content consumer. So once everything is done, you need to click on close, and Gazelle will add all the lists of the profiles in your system. So once this action is done, you need to go back to system summary and then to set your system registration has completed if everything is done. If, for example, you have some doubts, for example, you say, I'm not sure I will implement these actors, the document source. So you can leave it as in progress and then come back 1 week after to complete your registration. But the most interest the what you need to know is the status of this registration need to be completed before the end of the registration. Otherwise, after the end of the registration, you will be not able to update the status. So it's very important. So now, once everything is done, you can click on update and your system is created in Gazelle and fully completed. So now your system is created. So you can wait for the second stage of the preparatory. That's the preparatory stage. So it starts on not on October. Sorry, it's not the good. Yeah, before, okay. So it will start from October to mid November. So you will have the list of the tests to preparatory tests to execute for your system. So the only things I would like to mention also, this is something we didn't explain during the previous like past connectathon. That's to register the participant, because on this page you register the users who will get access to Gazelle. But we need to know in Sao Paulo which person will be on site or not. So you need to register the list of the person who will travel to Sao Paulo. We need this information because that's important for the room. We need to know, for example, for Suriname, how many places do we need to book for Suriname? How many places do we need to book for Chile? How many badges do we need for all participants? So this is some logistic information we really need to know. So what you need to do in Gazelle is at the end of the registration is to go to register participant. And when you click on the register participant, you will get access to this page. And from this page, you need to click on import users. When you click on import users, it will display the list of the person from your organization. You can say, for example, this person will be in Sao Paulo, this person will connect remotely, this person will be in Sao Paulo. So you need to select all of them and click on import. And when you click on import, you can say, for example, the event will start on Sunday. It's not Monday, but yeah, we'll fix this issue. You can say, for example, this person will be on site on Monday and Tuesday, and he will connect remotely on Wednesday. Okay, so if you connect on remotely on Wednesday, you do not need to click on this option. So this will help the organizator to know how many person will come from Suriname, how many person will come from Uruguay, and globally how many person do we have for the event. It's very important. So this is the last stage. I prepared a document in Gazelle that explains step by step how to perform the registration and what is a transaction, what is an actor, what is the system. This is a tab that explains also the list of the profiles. For each profiles, you have the name of the domain. Sorry, the name of the domain. And for each profile also you have the list of the actors. For example, for DDCC, we have content creator for the country that are creating the certificate, the digital certificate, and the universal verifier. That's the application that verify the QR code. On MHD, we have all actors: document consumer, document source responder, and document recipient. For LagChain, we have also all actors and the explanation for each actors. So we explain also how to perform the registration if you are new in Gazelle or if you already have an account in Gazelle. All the screenshot I explained in my previous presentation, and also how to add a system on the test in Gazelle, how to add the profiles, how to update the status, and everything. So you have everything on this page. And also, if you create, for example, a new users, you have the explanation on the difference between the vendor admin role, the vendor role, and everything. So globally, I will send this document to Carlos just after this presentation. And if you have any question, feel free to ask. So just the last information I would like to remind you before we switch for the questions. That's the name of the testing session. This is the right name of the testing session. So when you connect in Gazelle, make sure that you are in the right testing session. LACPAS Connectathon 2023, Sao Paulo. Because we have others. Last year, we used this testing session, Projectathon 2022, Chile, it's green. If you connect on this page, you need to click on the orange button, join another session, and click on Sao Paulo 2023. You will automatically connect here and then create your system, add your profiles, add the participant list, and etc. So this is what I wanted to share. In the registration, you have the document that explains step by step how to proceed. I show you also the new GUI of Gazelle. This is new compared to the previous event. And for the useful link, if you need some support, you can send me an email or Carlos, and we can give you some assistance if you need to register for any actor systems or some users. If you have some difficulty to access in Gazelle, you can reach me or you can reach Carlos. So this is our email. And also in the Raxel website, you have the list of the profiles also. And probably Carlos will include the information on the accommodation in their website. Carlos, I'm not sure if this thing is done, but probably it will come after in their website. If there is any brochure for the event also, you can reach Carlos for that. So I'm giving you back the link to the registration to get access to the Gazelle homepage. So thank you so much. And for our next webinar, we'll talk about the preparatory stage. But at this time, we just need to focus on the registration. And the end of September or the beginning of October, we'll have another webinar that will explain you how to perform your preparatory test, where to find your test plan, where to find the tool, how to connect to the simulators and the validators. So thank you for your attention. If you have any question, we have 10 minutes left. If you have any question, feel free to ask. Thank you so much.